Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to intoNigeria, the platform where we speak truth to power. This evening, we are going to go through a very shocking start. We did a program yesterday, and I'll show you a little clip of it, where we were asking. We've actually found out that Nigeria is actually sending crude oil to South Korea and then buying from same South Korea processed oil. Obviously, no doubt at expensive rate. That's where they make their money. You hear the lady say it. The question I want to ask is this: why is Nigeria selling our crude oil all the way to South Korea and then importing processed oil from the same South Korea when we have refineries, 4 refineries at home that are not working, that they could fix? Imagine the cost that they could save. If we process our own oil, people will have to buy processed oil. The crude oil does not have to travel. We can make a lot more money for our people, create jobs in Nigeria. Is that not economic madness? Is it not economic madness? Let me show you exactly what I mean. Now, let me show you. Here's a shocking stat for me. Did you know that South Korea is only 11% the size of Nigeria? Precisely. Yes, that's the. I've just put to scale. I've sort of put it roughly to scale. It's 10% the size of Nigeria. Nigeria is approximately 768 square kilometers, while South Korea is approximately 720 square kilometers, making South Korea 10.79% of the size of Nigeria. So you can see we dwarf this nation that is obviously we're selling our crude oil to. The question I want to ask is, where is the economic sense in selling our crude oil to import processed oil that they will charge us? The only thing I can come out of that I can see is that the people who are buying the processed oil are using as an excuse to charge as much, to take out as much of our wealth as possible. From they'll add whatever they want to take from, they want to loot from the country to the amount that South Korea has charged. That oil subsidy is a scam, like many have said. But I'm showing to you now a country 10% the size of Nigeria. They have one of the largest refineries in the entire world. But look at our own refinery. Look, let me show you. Look at our own refineries. Those 4 refineries, Port Harcourt 1, Port Harcourt 2, Warri, and Kaduna refineries, none of them are working. Why is that? It's because those in government, successive government, have deliberately impoverished the people. And we have the solution to this problem, but it requires a collective effort. I will go into detail about that later on. So follow me and let's discuss this. And we're going to explore certain things that we can do. But in the meantime, we need to start looking at how we can come up with things to make sure the government fixes the refineries immediately. I have a hashtag, Operation Fix the 4 Oil Refineries. And then it's tied to the powers that we possess as sovereigns. We will come and talk about that later on. You see it on the screen here, but I'll talk in detail about that and what steps we can take collectively to ensure that we put pressure on our governments as sovereigns to fix the refineries, to bring down the price of oil. But let's go forward. Okay, so before we go too far ahead, I want to show you a clip where a lady from South Korea tells us exactly what is going on, and it is shocking when you hear it. Listen to this. Listen. You can watch the full thing on intoNigeria, the platform where we speak truth to power. Here we go. Listen. Now, let me see. Let me go back again. See? I want you to hear it fully.
Sources is oil. We're the largest oil refinery in the world. So we buy oil from Nigeria.
They are the largest oil refinery in the world. So they buy oil from Nigeria.
And we refine them and we sell it back to Nigeria.
So let me hear. I'll be quiet now. Listen to this now. I want you to listen fully.
Sources is oil. We're the largest oil refinery in the world. So we buy oil from Nigeria and we refine them and we sell it back to Nigeria.
There you go. So they are the largest oil refinery in the entire world. So they buy crude oil from Nigeria and sell back processed oil. Yet, here we have 4 oil refineries that the government have been trying to fix for over 20 years. It's a deliberate ploy. They don't want it to work. But because we have not been aware of our powers of sovereign, they have been able to get away with it. We are here to show you that we have to put a stop to it collectively, all of us, because we are being impoverished now, and we are using dollars, which is another insane idea, to be using dollars as a legal tender in Nigeria. We are impoverishing our people deliberately. This has got to stop. So now let me go and show you the second part of what I was trying to intimate. Now we are buying processed oil that we sell to Korea, the same company, same nation back. Like I said, they are 10% the size of Nigeria, and you've seen the picture I showed. Now, let's another interesting thing that we need to look at about that. Let us go and look at state of South Korea. Yeah, let's go and look at South Korea. So 1 second, please. I'm just gonna. Where is it? Oh, I'm just gonna. Here we go. Okay, so what resources does South Korea have? You know, what resources does South Korea have? It's interesting to look at that, and I wanted to really. It made me really look at things, and perhaps when you look at that, you will get a better understanding of why it is actually it's totally unacceptable what's been done to Nigerians by those in government, and we need to call this out. We must call it out. So what you can see on the screen, what I highlighted here, you see, Nigeria. You see, I said that the South Korea's 10% is about 10.79% the size of Nigeria. But let's go and look at the resources, mineral resources, yeah, of South Korea. Yeah, let's go and find that for you, because I hope you can. Here we go. So there we are. So the country that we are selling crude oil to, they don't have any oil, right? So we will sell our oil to them. They'll keep some of it, process it, send the rest back to us, charge us crazy prices, and those who are buying the oil will inflate the price, keep the difference, and keep the people impoverished. We need to put a stop to it. This is so wrong. So what do they have? What mineral resources do they have in South Korea? Keep in mind, they're only 10% the size of Nigeria. Graphite, iron ore, coal, silver, gold, zinc, lead, and tungsten. 8 mineral resources. Let's go and look at briefly, quickly, what Nigeria has. Look at that. State by state. Gold, Abia, gold, lead, zinc, limestone, oil, gas, salt, cassiterite in Abuja, clay, dolomite, gold, lead, zinc, marble, tantalite, Adamawa, bentonite, gypsum, kaolin, magnesite, Akwa Ibom, clay, lead, zinc, lignite, limestone, oil, gas, salt, uranium, Anambra, clay, glass, sand, gypsum, iron ore, lead, zinc, lignite, limestone, phosphate, salt. You see, I'm reading and reading. The list goes on and on. In one state alone, there's about 16 mineral resources in Kaduna. Again, in Nasarawa, in Ondo State, they got about 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In Ondo State, for example, or your state, you know, they got the same thing in Plateau, barite, bauxite, bentonite, bismuth, cassiterite, clay, coal, emerald, fluoride, gemstone, granite, iron ore, kaolin, lead, zinc, marble, molybdenite, folklore, salt, tantalite, columbine, tin, and wolfram. You know, so on and so forth. We are vastly blessed with resources. 30% of the world's mineral resources are in Africa, and you can see that we have our own fair share of the resources, but we are not being allowed to enjoy it because of bad governance. The governance, it doesn't make economic sense to ignore our refineries and be importing from a country on the other side of the world. The cost of transporting the oil there back, they will charge that to us in what they charge us for the processed oil. And also the byproducts. We are losing out on the byproducts that we can use to be making parts for our cars and so on and so forth. This is economic madness. And the amount of jobs we will create. We could, as a country, we could actually provide oil for the whole of Africa in many respects. We could be self-contained. This is... It's time to wake up. So anyway, I'm showing you that. So that's what I wanted to show you. And it doesn't make economic sense why they are going to buy, to sell crude oil to South Korea, of all, you know, when we have 4 refineries. That money could be used to fix the refineries. The money that they're using to go and buy processed, they can use it to fix our refineries. And in fact, the amount of money that they use to fix the refineries is far less than what they're going to charge. 968 billion naira was what they're going to use to fix the refinery. But now, They are using dollars, billion naira. They are trying to use 3.1 trillion naira to buy processed oil that will only last for 3 months. This doesn't make economic sense. So this is where we need to focus on, my people. We need to focus on this area and make sure that we get the government to fix our foreign refineries, and we have the powers to do so. What are those powers? Let me read it to you. I'm going to read it to you briefly here. I have it on the screen. Please take a screenshot of these powers and share it. These are the ones you need to know. We need to know it in every community, and we are asking. Every community must demand that these powers, the constitution, is translated into our local languages: Yoruba, Igbo, Biafra, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and so on and so forth. All our languages, for our local people to understand the powers and the sovereignty and the powers and the law of the land in their language. They can then participate in their governance. The lack of knowledge of our laws in our language excludes our people from participating in their governance. That is the point that's been made. We must put an end to that. The constitution in its entirety must be translated into Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Middle Belt, all languages, all 350 languages. It must happen. But the only way it will happen is by exercising these powers here. So please learn these powers here. 14.2a, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. And then, of course, 14.2c, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. These are things that we need us to learn. I'm trying to really show you this. Take a screenshot of what you see on the screen now and share it to family and friends. And please, we need all our local government areas, all 7 local government areas, to be part of the process in asking for the fixing of these refineries. We need to be participating in that urgently and putting pressure on our governors collectively. Enough of this injustice. We've been oppressed by our own people and doing the bidding of the colonials. Enough of this injustice. So we have the power, using the powers like I showed you earlier on, 14.2 and 14.2c. We can command and demand from the government as sovereigns that they fix the refineries, Operation Fix the 4 oil refineries. We have the power. We call meetings with our local government chairman, state house of assembly members, house of reps, senators, even governors, monthly meetings. You tell them that they must fix the refinery. We've heard that they are buying, importing processed oil from South Korea when they have failed to fix our refineries at home. You are now instructing them as sovereigns, collectively, in each of the 704 local government areas, to fix. You give them a 4-week period to fix the refineries. They must go back to the state house of assemblies and the National Assembly, instruct them to pass a law compelling the government to fix the refineries within 4 weeks, and we begin to put pressure on them. Every month you call them to meeting, you remind them of the powers of sovereignty that you have. Section 14.2a, you read it to everybody at the meeting: local government chairman, state house of assembly members, house of reps, senators, and governors. Remind them of these powers, which I'm going to show you on the screen, which I'm going to show you here. It says here, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You need to be saying that to them as they're sitting down, to remind them of who they are serving. They're serving us collectively as citizens. We need to begin to do that. And it has to be in our language also, ASAP. Secondly, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. This is something we need to, that's how we use that power of sovereignty. We can use it to question anybody in government from the president downwards, and we need to begin to exercise that power. We need to use that power to hold the government to account on the things like federal account allocation committee amount, monthly allocation. Where is it going? You have the powers to question them. You have the power to direct where those funds are going to be used, using the powers of sovereignty collectively. We need to become actively participating in our governance on a daily basis in all 774 local government areas. Enough of this injustice. We have the powers. We can use those powers to get the federal government to fix those refineries by consistent pressure collectively in all 774 local government areas. I don't want to spend too much more time talking about this because it's so frustrating to see this. And now we can see why we are being oppressed and suppressed by those in our governance who are working for at the behest of those of the colonials who created the nation we call Nigeria. That's not our name. But whilst we're in Nigeria, if they're not going to fix the refineries, then we have every justification for going for Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, because they're deliberately impoverishing us in our own land. Imagine, we have 4 refineries, but you are going to the other side of the world to sell them processed oil and import them from the same place, charging us crazy prices, when you can create jobs for fellow citizens and keep that place an oasis. This is a failure of governance by successive governance. a failure of governance by all of them, bar none. So please, you've got this information. You can see now, South Korea is only 10% the size of Nigeria, and they have the largest oil refinery in the world. That is crazy. We have these 4 refineries, and it's been deliberately damaged to make sure it doesn't work. We must put pressure on our governance. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. What I'd like you to do for me is to go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. I'm really incensed by what I just saw now. It is not a joke, it's not a laughing matter. If this resonates with you, please do share. We have the powers to hold our governors to account. Let us begin to use it. Are you willing? Now we know the problem, we've provided solutions. Are you willing to partake in it? The church or the mosque is not going to solve this problem for you. They don't care about you. They want to keep you blinded because the government will pay them money, a backhander, to keep you blinded. We are here to wake you up. Use the powers of sovereignty. You will never hear the church or the mosque talk to you about your powers of sovereignty. They don't want you to know you're a sovereign, because if they do, then that means the game is up. Their business model has failed. They don't want you to know that you're a sovereign, because in their Bible, you're a servant of God. In their Quran, you're a servant of God. And as a servant, you never think yourself worthy of standing up for what is yours, which is you as a sovereign. We are telling you now, begin to exercise the powers of sovereignty collectively in your community. Enough of this injustice. These refineries must simply be fixed. It does not make economic sense to be shipping our crude oil, selling it to a country halfway, in fact, on the other side of the world, for them to process it, and then we then buy it. Imagine the transportation cost alone of bringing those oil, when we could ensure that our refineries are fixed. And by fixing the refineries, the price of our petrol drops. As I'm hearing, petrol prices is over 1,000 litre now, 1,000 naira per litre. This is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not be silent as you watch this. You are watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth power. If this resonates with you, please do share. With this needs to reach each and every corner of Nigeria and everybody who are in diaspora. This is sheer injustice. The country that we are buying oil from, processed oil from, is only 10% the size of Nigeria, and they have the largest oil refinery in the entire world. And our governance has deliberately damaged, ensured that our refineries never work, so they can continue to import and inflate the prices. We need to put a stop to it. This is oppression of we the sovereigns. We are the sovereigns. It states so here, and I want to remind you, as you're watching this, take a screenshot of this, please. As you're watching this, take a screenshot. Join us in this and begin to exercise your sovereignty. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You are a sovereign. Collectively, we must begin to exercise that power. How do you exercise it? The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Again, we are imploring you. You need to start going to demand that constitution be written in its entirety in your local language, so that you can participate in your governance. Your lack of knowledge of what is written in the constitution in your language means that you cannot participate in it. You need to begin to participate in your governance so you can hold those you elect to office to account. So please join us in this struggle. Leave a comment. I don't want to just come here talking. I want us to begin to play active role collectively. If you're interested in this struggle and you want to play your part in waking up our people and changing the future of the coming generation positively, join Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to power. Please, best way you can help us is to subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, and of course, share this broadcast and leave a comment. Please, it's of immense importance. Let me show you once again. Go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY, subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. We really need your support. If this resonates with you, please do share. Once again, I want to thank you for watching. The message here is so important. You've heard now. You've seen that there is no excuse. Those refineries must be fixed. These refineries, to fix them, we use the powers that I'm showing you on the screen here, collectively in every local community. We must teach our children from the age of 4 about the powers that are read to you there. Take a screenshot. We need to embark on this operation, fix the 4 refineries. That is the only way we can fix and solve our problem. We can no longer wait for the government that is deliberately keeping us a dark to fix our problems. They want to keep us. Palliative is not a solution. Fixing the refineries is the only solution. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Thank you and bye for now.